Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Keith Ellison is running for the chair of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. He's under scrutiny right now because of his past affiliation with the Nation of Islam. People have accused him of supporting anti-Semitism. They also note that he defended Farrakhan in the past against charges of anti-Semitism, and he also defended prominent black activists like Kwame Ture against these charges as well. So people are criticizing this brother. They're trying to undermine his effort to become chair of the Democratic National Committee. And I just wanted to provide my analysis of this situation. The fact that this brother is coming under such scrutiny speaks to the power and influence of the Zionist lobby in Washington, D.C. and in the government, period. The fact that you have this progressive brother whose whole effort to become the chair is going to be potentially derailed because of his past affiliations with the Nation of Islam over 20 years ago. And I just think that that's a disgrace, that would happen. And I think that we need to support this brother in his effort to become the chair of the Democratic National Committee. And I say that because this brother is a progressive. He's the kind of person that the Democratic Party needs to send the party in a different direction. Because the party has been a corporate party. It has been a party that has put the interests of Wall Street ahead of the interests of the masses of people. So the party needs a new direction. This brother supported Bernie Sanders, the most progressive candidate that has ever run for president in a long time. So I think that this brother deserves our support. We should rally behind him. But I also want to address this whole issue of black people feeling the need to distance themselves from Farrakhan. The Nation of Islam is no perfect organization, but it is an organization that's been in our community for decades. It has done great things in our community. It has built businesses in the black community. It is an independent, strong voice for the issues of black people, speaking out boldly against racism and discrimination. That organization deserves our respect instead of our condemnation. And I think that it is a shame. As much as I support Keith Ellison, I think that it is a shame that he would feel the need to throw the nation under the bus in order to advance politically. And this is nothing new. This has happened many times with many politicians, including President Obama. During his first campaign, they tried to tie Brother Barack Obama to Farrakhan to discredit him, and they tried to put pressure on him to condemn Farrakhan, and he was quick to condemn Farrakhan. He was so quick to condemn Farrakhan. And not only that, they put pressure on Obama to condemn his own pastor of 20 years. And eventually, Obama caved and he condemned his own pastor and distanced himself from his own pastor, threw his pastor under the bus. And it's that kind of attitude that really causes people to have a cynical view of politics. This ambitious attitude that uh, doesn't care about people. An attitude that's so self-promoting that these people will throw anybody under the bus. And that's one of the main things that I really don't like about this whole situation. It's one of the things that really disappoints me. I never even knew that that Keith Ellison was affiliated with the nation at any time. I didn't know that. I knew that he was a Muslim, but I did not know that he was affiliated with the nation. But I just think that it's a shame for this brother to distance himself from an organization that he was a part of for a decade. I'm sure that this brother wouldn't be who he is today if it wasn't for the Nation of Islam. When he first ran for Congress, In 2006, he said, I have long since distanced myself from the Nation of Islam due to its propagation of bigoted and anti-Semitic ideas and statements, as well as other issues. This brother was in the Nation for 10 years. He knew what the Nation taught. He knew very well what the Nation taught, and he defended Farrakhan against allegations of anti-Semitism. He defended people like Kwame Ture against charges of anti-Semitism, and I just think that it is weak for him to cave to the pressure and throw an organization under the bus that helped make him the man that he is today. An organization that he praised for teaching personal responsibility and other key values and just principles. And I know that he learned a lot from the Nation. And this is just a disgrace. I mean, it's like throwing your own loved one under the bus in order to score political points, in order to advance in your career. And that is very disappointing. If it wasn't for his very progressive political stances on the issues that matter, I would be opposed to him for just the way he's handling this, the way he is being disrespectful to an organization that helped make him the man that he is today. So, those are just my thoughts about this. And this whole situation reminds me of what happened to Malcolm X. Now, Ellison says that he has changed his views, that he has distanced himself from the Nation of Islam. And I understand that people go through changes and all that kind of stuff in their life. But still, you have to show respect to those who taught you, those who guided you, those people that you defended at one point, those people that you stood with. That's an act of betrayal to basically throw them under the bus in order to placate some Jewish interest groups that really don't care anything about you. Despite you distancing yourself from Farrakhan, despite you throwing the Nation of Islam under the bus, they are still criticizing you. Now, you've won over the support of groups like the Anti-Defamation League, but still you have even people like Hillary Clinton's donors, or at least one donor, still condemning you despite your renunciation of the Nation of Islam. Um, and this whole thing, I mean, it reminds me of that quote from the Bible that talks about what good is gaining the whole world if you lose your soul. And that's what essentially is happening when you disrespect and dishonor a group that's responsible for making you the man that you are today. You are essentially allowing these Zionists to castrate you, to put you in a weak position. Because as somebody that's written in defense of Farrakhan against these charges of anti-Semitism, you know damn well that he's not an anti-Semite, but you are putting on this show in order to please these Zionists. And this should be a cautionary tale for people that are interested in politics. I think that this brother will make a great chairman. He has a great record as a congressman. He's very progressive. But this should be a lesson to people in terms of how to conduct themselves if they want to go into politics. It's like you can't have any kind of controversial connections or anything like that. They will use those to derail your ambitions. And many progressive people are probably prevented from running for office or holding key positions simply because they took controversial positions as a youth. And, that's just a shame because government needs the voices of people like that, people who had the courage to stand up and speak out. They don't need people that play it safe. They don't need people that don't have the courage to take a stand. We don't need those kind of people in public office. We need more people like Keith Ellison, even though I'm disappointed by the way he's handling the Nation of Islam issue. I think that he should have been a man about this instead of allowing these people to emasculate him. It's one thing to say, well, I no longer am a member of the nation, or I no longer am affiliated with it, but then hold fast to your position. If you challenge these charges of anti Semitism back then, why can't you challenge them now? So, those are just my thoughts. I mean, I just think that the left is too quick to abandon their own. They're too quick to cave to pressure. You have Donald Trump. This man is not caving to any pressure. He appointed a damn white supremacist to be his political strategist. He's not backing down from that, despite all this pressure and everything. He's not apologizing for that. He's not apologizing for his ties to the alt-right. And I'm talking about this guy, the guy that Donald Trump nominated for chief political strategist, Mr. Bannon. Bannon's not backing down from his position. He's not apologizing for his ties to the alt-right. He's proudly proclaiming those ties. And it's like, is the left so quick to cave in? Why don't we hold a position and stand by it? So those are my thoughts about this. Tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.